You are listening to the New Holstein Sports Podcast, a.k.a. The Pod. We are coming to you from The Closet, where we discuss Husky sports and the biggest topics in the sports world. Our presenting sponsor is the Holy Land Bakery. If life gives you a legendary pie, there is a 100% chance it came from the Holy Land Bakery.
This starts now.
The pod's going up on a Tuesday.
Welcome, Pod fam. This is the Pod Squad. Today we'll bring you our best knowledge regarding circulating topics in the sports world. I'm the hype man.
I'm the brain.
I'm the life coach.
I'm the enthusiast, and this is
The Pod.
Well, folks, today on the agenda we got Husky sports, boys and girls basketball, the national championship recap, NCAA football, that was last night, for those of you who don't follow, NCAA basketball, NFL, some wild card recaps, some of those raunchy games, just unreal.
Just
Like the word choice there.
Brutal.
And also the NBA.
Finally.
And I just need to mention that we're ending this show with the biggest NBA bus of all time.
Potentially the best topic we've talked about all year.
NBA draft bus.
Keep your ears open.
Yes, it's going to be good. All right, well, first, let's start off with Huskies boys basketball. Now, I do believe they are 5-4 on the season.
Yes.
They play it now significantly not as good as last year. Last year we were ended third in the conference, I believe.
Correct.
I think we are in a tougher conference this year.
For sure, yeah,
That's true.
So 5-4. Last game was Two Rivers here in New Holstein. They lost that game 66-62. Realistically, in that game the whole time, but TR just hit shots at the end, basically, and just pulled away.
We got a little bit streaky, which
Right.
has been kind of, I think, we've talked about this on the pod, I believe,
The
before.
inconsistency.
The inconsistency, and it's just these, 5-6 minutes where their inability, they're having trouble scoring, not inability, that's a bad word, but having trouble scoring kind of leads them to do, because these are all close games. I mean, some of them seem a little bit not as close, but that's because you're getting into garbage time where you're fouling, just trying to get possessions.
Yeah.
It
it just seems like they're doing all right in the first half, but then all of a sudden it gets to the second half, and it's just they just can't seem to put the ball in the hoop, and the other team just does the opposite. They are making shots.
Yep.
And currently the Huskies are sitting third last in conference, tied. Well, you could say second last, tied with Brilliant. Surprisingly, Brilliant, tall team for sure, but not doing as well like the Huskies. Nolan Byrne leading all scores with 16.8 points per game. Josh Berg right behind him with 12. And tonight they face a tough Roncalli team.
Roncalli is first, I believe, in the conference?
They are third.
Third. I thought it was
tied
first.
for
They're tied for second.
Tied for second. Okay,
with Valdez.
I knew they were up there.
Sheboygan Falls 5-0. The Falls game is this Friday at New Holstein.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are planning on going to the Roncalli game. There are a lot of fans. Get that fandemonium going.
Fandemonium. Yep.
So, I think one thing we have to remember about the season too, we're almost at the halfway point, right? We're not even turned around playing the teams for the second time. So, there is still quite a bit of time, I think, to turn the season around, albeit you can't wait forever. You're just going to have to pick up and do it.
It'd be nice to start getting streaky now before, we start hitting playoff time.
Absolutely. Get hot at the right time.
Some good wins under our belt, therefore we can go into the postseason with some confidence.
Like Florida Gulf Coast University.
Yes.
Yeah. Get hot at the right time.
Yes.
Dunk City. I brought that up only because our special guest today is Nick Halbach.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Nick
Welcome
Halbach.
to Nick. How do you feel about being on the pod today?
Feels great. I'm glad to be in the closet for the first time.
Yeah,
you are.
What do you think of the accoutrement?
It's quite legendary, to be honest. Here,
my
I love
favorite
the Final Four.
Yeah, my favorite is the Latvian flag though, from my boy Chris Stapps Porzingis.
Very true.
Very true. Yeah.
We also decided to bring back our boy Vixie in the back. Vixie, say hi to everybody.
Hey everyone.
Vixie, got to get closer to the mic, but you better try it again.
All right. Hey everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
there he is.
We brought him back for the playoff picks.
Yeah.
And to maybe look up, get some stuff going on the internet for us if when we're just looking up stats.
All right. Girls basketball now.
Yeah,
I think we can move on. Last night, tough loss to Elkhart Lake. Once again, still winless on the season, but like we said last time, they're improving, and which is it's nice to see. And again, they're gonna get that W.
Yeah,
No matter. Yeah, they're gonna. It's gonna happen.
Colin, you broadcast that game.
I broadcast the Sheboygan
Sheboygan
Falls game.
Falls
I
game, sorry.
believe that was the Friday
Okay.
Yeah.
before this game. And,
Tell us a little bit.
they got off to a hot start, really. They were making a lot of their shots. They were up by 9 for most of the first half, which was really great to see. And then, they kind of started getting in that shooting drought that the boys often see. And Sheboygan Falls ended up being only up by 4 at the half. And now Sheboygan Falls is leading the conference in girls and boys, surprisingly, this year. So it was great to see that we were only down by 4 at the half, but the drought continued in the second half, unfortunately, and we ended up losing by 20 points. So now I think we know for sure that the girls can shoot the ball. They obviously have shown that within the last 3 games. Now I think if they start attacking the basket more, getting to the free throw line, start making those inside shots, I think they'll definitely get the W then.
Yeah, and they were off to a good start. They were winning at one point, right? It was like maybe 10-3. They were winning by a good margin for sure.
Yes, definitely.
But then, Brady.
And you go from last year to this year, like our field goal percentage in the paint was a lot higher than it is this year, but I think they're starting to figure it out using the glass to our advantage. And something that I wanted to quick mention is Erica Van Engen from Sheboygan Falls put up 24 points in that win for Falls over us, and she played really well, so that was just another key, and we couldn't stop her.
She did.
But one thing, a couple things about the girls basketball. The JV team has picked up a couple wins, right?
Yep, they have.
Some big-time scores on there. They have a pretty, talking with Coach Hoffmeister, a pretty good group of freshman girls that play well. Or
Bright future.
Yeah, that are play well together and have played well together for a while. So that's awesome to see them play well together. So the future is looking bright.
No, for sure.
Future's so bright.
Yeah, last night, the Huskies, once like we said before, fell to Elkhart Lake Glenbeulah 63-34. Their next game is January 14th at Two Rivers. So you got nothing to do that night.
Go support.
Go out to Two Rivers. Yeah, they love your support and trying to get that first W.
It's going to be cold in Two Rivers, a little bit colder, so dress appropriately.
Yeah, and Saturday they play at WLA. I'm almost confident.
Yep. And I think it sounds like to talk about a sport, a new Holstein sport that we haven't talked about is that wrestling. We haven't really talked about. I know they have a home meet this week. I forget who it's against.
I think it's a Two Rivers dual meet.
It is
Two Rivers dual meet. Okay. And we're going to try to get Jacob Kaiser to come on the pod in a few weeks to talk about the season, going into, I believe, the tournament time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And also the girls' Palms team, not on the agenda, but they had their first competition.
It's a good idea. We should get them on here because now it's competition season for them.
Yeah, I think they have a big competition this weekend. Kakana, and maybe bring them in afterwards to talk about.
Yeah, because then they have Kimberly next week if they advance, and then state after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got to get them.
So I think
here.
they took 3rd and 4th in both of the disciplines, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Good.
And now, you want. And actually, I was told they lost in Palms by 4. I'm almost confident.
Yeah, not by a lot of points.
Yeah, 4 to first place. So, they're right there. All they got to do is it could be a footstep or two. We're not experts at the dance here.
No, we're not. I think they should do a couple more front flips. That's what I would do to impress the judges. Or maybe like in-air 360s.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. So, Nicole and Steph, if you're listening to that would be the pod's official.
Well, they're probably
suggestion.
practicing right now, but
when they listen,
when they listen,
our official advice would be to do more flips in 360s.
So that's basically it for Husky sports.
I'd like to make a quick comment on the wrestling team.
Yeah.
I know they competed at, it says O'Connell Falls here on Saturday, and Jacob Kaiser got a 3rd place in his weight class. Jacob Barth, Matt Beagle, and Anthony Purnell both got 4th places in their respective weight classes, so it's nice to see that they're up there.
Yeah, get some either on the podium or close to that podium action. Yeah, all right.
Well,
now we're gonna swing into the national championship game, which was last night.
Boo.
And your winner was Alabama over Clemson, 45-40. Quick analysis of what everyone thought. I'll go last.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I was studying for math test. I did not watch much of it. But the part that I did, I'm surprised that Clemson stuck in as much as they did throughout the game.
Yeah,
I honestly thought it was going to be a blowout.
Well, because even though Clemson was ranked 1, it felt like Alabama was the 1 and Clemson
for sure.
was the 2.
For sure, yeah. And, Alabama just a phenomenal team. Don't get me wrong. They got everybody, all right.
They have the best recruits.
Even though we say on the pod here, we
hate them.
We hate the Alabama.
Yeah, we're still working on a T-shirt, flag, or
let me know
sign.
if you guys find a flag for us. Yeah,
we got the flag people.
Yeah.
We hate the Alabama.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just Alabama, great team. I guess I don't know if I want to say this, but deserving since they are a good team, but I don't think anybody wanted them to win except the state of Alabama.
Agreed.
Maybe.
Only half the state of Alabama. Auburn likes.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay.
True. Good point.
Halbach's coming in.
Yeah.
I didn't really get too jacked up on the game. A lot of people came to school today like, "Oh, the game was exciting. All these big plays." I'm like, it's emotion for me because I hate Alabama so much. Like whenever they had a good play, I just didn't recognize it. I didn't even recognize the athletic talent it took to make the play. I'm just like, no.
I don't know. I thought it was a great game.
I thought it was pretty exciting.
The only time I got excited is when I thought maybe Clemson was going to put something together at the end.
Clemson had a chance to go up 2 scores when they got stopped, and then Coker had a nice pass down the field and tied the game. Then the onside kick.
I just don't. Clemson hung in it, but it just looked like most of the time they were outmatched. I mean, like how some of these people got that open. It was like me watching the Bears-Packers game when Jordy Nelson is just walking through the middle of the field wide open and I says, how is nobody on that person or within 20 yards of that person? And like, how does that happen? We have blown coverage on here and it's just missed tackles.
Well, I wrote that down because like last night, the big plays to O.J. Howard, there were 2 big pass plays to him, and those were just on blown coverages. That was miscommunication between the corner and the safety. And the corner, Tankersley, I think he was in for the injured Alexander. So, that kind of hurt them in essence. But, yeah,
You got to have people come up. It's the big game.
Yeah.
Vix, you watched the game last night?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think about it?
It was close until the very end, until like Alabama just scored that final touchdown, just pulled away before it was just like before that this game. Like,
do you hate Alabama as much as the rest of the pod fam?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson though put up huge numbers last night. He broke Matt Leinert's passing record in the BCS championship, and he also put together a 5,000-yard season throwing and rushing. So that is something to recognize for him.
Yeah,
Heisman candidate.
And he also broke the record for most all-purpose yards, I think, on offense in a BCS national championship over Vince Young and Marcus Mariota.
That's what that game reminded me of, though.
Yeah,
Vince Young.
because
the shootout,
you thought they were going to come back.
Right
passing.
at the end, same score, same situation.
Well, what last night's game reminded me of is, if anyone remembers this, in 2013, it was Florida State and Auburn, and it was right around the same time Kenyon Drake got his kick return last night, and Kermit Whitfield from Florida State ran one back, and that kind of just basically, in essence, solidified the win over Auburn in the 2013, and then last night...
Turning point?
Yeah, I think, in football, that it's mainly you think about defense and offense, but actually special teams have to do with it too, and it showed last night.
That onside kick was a turning point.
Onside kick,
that was unreal.
I mean, give it up to Alabama. Like, that is, folks, that is the only time you will ever hear me compliment Alabama.
Perfectly
Nick Saban.
Perfectly executed onside kick.
Like, no one even covered that guy. The guy, it was a pass almost.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
So,
unbelievable.
With Nick Saban's national championship win last night, he went to 5 now, 1 behind Bear Bryant.
Can he go back to the NFL?
Yes.
Ooh, they might be, looking for him. And so Jake Coker, does anyone know who won MVP of last night's game offensive-wise?
I shut it off because I was so angry.
Should have been O.J. Howard, I'll tell you that.
Well, I thought it'd be Jake Coker. I just thought he just made the right plays at the right time. Even down at the goal line with a minute left. It's a 3rd and 1.
Good call,
he's all night he's been getting harassed by Dodd, and he ends up faking him out, and he gets the first down, and they end up scoring a touchdown. I thought he was the MVP in my mind. If Clemson would have won, it would have been Deshaun Watson. But if anyone noticed, between the third and fourth quarter, Watson missed some key throws. He was overthrowing and underthrowing at times where, it would have been nice. It would have put him up 7.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Um,
That was just my analysis.
doesn't it though, for all of us who hate Alabama, isn't it like anticlimactic? Like at the end, like you don't really like, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
I did not like it.
No.
It's not on the agenda, but I got fired up about it today. Or Halbach, go. You want to say something? I'll bring on my thing a little bit.
You got to respect game. Nick Saban's the best coach in college football history.
Well,
True.
I
That can be
yeah.
I
That's a
mean,
challenge. for that.
Challenge. Wait for it.
Yes, we're even going to throw the flag in here.
Challenge.
sorry, the first one wasn't on the air. I had to do it again.
Better do it again.
Challenge.
Yeah, you guys hear that challenge?
Challenge.
I don't know if
We're working
I'm
out
with that.
the new
Challenge.
noises
I'm
today.
afraid Nick. I don't know, conspiracy theory coming up here, but like Nick Saban, he's going to leave, and like we're going to get all this Pete Carroll stuff, recruiting violations. Does that make him the best coach? I don't know. Urban Meyer type stuff, Florida. Just jump ship.
I don't know.
But okay, back. You guys want to go a little off script here?
Sure.
Is anybody
Go ahead.
a little bit jaded about like the bowls? We talked about how crappy the bowls were. Like, does the college football need to seriously consider changing the way they do things, the way they operate, instead of being this big money machine giving bowls to teams who don't deserve it but will get it because they travel well?
Yeah,
It's like do we?
Well, yeah, because we talked about how basically there's 4 bowl games that were interesting to us, and last night's game was pretty good. It was no blowout, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we talked about, are you playing the bowl games because you think these two would look good in the game, or are you playing them because they're both deserving? Because
they look good.
This college football, these bowls, they're money making. That's
Exactly.
what it's all about.
But to me, that delegitimizes the champion. That delegitimizes the legitimacy of being the supposedly the best division in college football.
Yeah.
We probably, Alabama's probably, the real champion. They would have beat out anybody in a playoff. But I want to see a playoff.
There is a playoff.
Yeah, but not 4 teams.
I preferably I'd rather see 8.
8 teams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like they don't play for a whole month. You telling me we can't have bowl games in there and battle it out like all the other
I agree with
NCAA divisions do?
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I think it's a great idea.
I was out with Kaz, Olhoff, and Hoffy, and we were talking about this. And we're all talking about how some of us like to watch some of the D3 or the Division 1A stuff because it's the playoff.
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State.
Yeah, North Dakota State. Did they beat Jacksonville State?
Yep, 5 in a row.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd just like to mention, thank you, Mr. Hoffmeister, a.k.a. Hoff, for tweeting at us here. He says, Nick Saban will stay put at Alabama. He's 60 years old and over. Or he's not sure. He just put 60 plus. He doesn't. He doesn't want to start over, and I can agree with that. Because why would you have it made at Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing's gonna go wrong.
I want him to start over, but like coaching the Samoan Football League. I don't even know if there is one, but I'd like Nick Saban to go there and coach, so I don't have to deal with him and Brett Bielema. I'm sorry, I'm hating right now.
Yeah, folks.
I'd like to send both those guys.
Also want to mention real quick, we're on the Twitter feed here.
Yeah, get that.
Also, go on, follow at the NH Pod and get on there and retweet. We just tweeted at Jay Billis.
Yeah, we want to get him on.
We're going to talk about this next week. At Jay Billis, would you like to come on our podcast and talk about the WIA ruling?
Yeah, he's been trolling actually.
Yeah.
You won't get suspended for saying anything that you feel. So.
Yeah, please retweet that and get him on our podcast. We would love it. He's just a legend.
Scott Billis.
I'm knocking my
Jay Billis.
Sorry,
Jay Billis.
making noise. If things are gonna get wild, I got to pick up the golf club for defense.
Well, should we get back on?
Yeah, I'm sorry it took us off track,
NCAA
but I've been just kind of down on it.
Yeah.
That's just me, but I think
also one more thing. I just want to mention tonight before the New Holstein boys basketball game against Roncalli can be listened to right here on nhradio.caster.fm. Tonight, myself and Mr. Scott and I will be on the call.
Yeah, all right.
I will listen to that.
All right.
Now we're going to swing.
NCAA.
All right, so.
Brady, get ready.
Yep, I am ready.
Buckle up.
So I picked 5 matchups that I really am. These are teams I want to see because I get to see them, but not too often as others. Kansas, number 1 Kansas at number 11 West Virginia today. Yes, that's today.
That's tonight.
In fact, at 6.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a good game. You know, Kansas, they went to Texas Tech, winning by 10 this weekend. And then after the win against Oklahoma at home last week, now they're traveling to the 14-1 West Virginia Mountaineers, who have a man by the name of Devin Williams, who averages 15 points per game and 9 rebounds, and also the play of Javon Carter. So, I mean, I think just quick pick on it, I'm going with West Virginia there.
Ooh, upset.
I'm going with West Virginia. I'm going with West Virginia.
I wonder if it just seems like this year there's been more upsets. Like Marquette the other week. Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take Kansas. I think they'll hold on.
I don't know. I'll take West Virginia. I like Bob Huggins. His press defense. He knows how to get it done in the big games.
Yeah. All right.
The Brain, Sky Jordan.
I like upsets, so West Virginia.
Yeah, I got
Upset
West.
City.
I also got West Virginia.
I just took Kansas so I could say Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vix, who you got in this
Okay,
game?
I'm also going with West Virginia.
I'm sorry, Vix. Tomorrow you're gonna have a bad day.
Wow.
Don't get started on that.
Don't get fired.
Don't worry, we will. We're gonna get started on that, Vix.
All right.
So then my next game I had highlighted was number 8 Miami at Clemson. Clemson's got a man of Jerron Blossom game who is putting up good numbers this season with 15.4 points
You must
per
tell
game
me.
and
Who the heck
7.1
are you?
rebounds. They just took down, by the way, folks, a good Louisville team at home. So I just want to see if they can take down Miami, who is ranked number 8 in the land. And they got a man of Angel Rodriguez, who is a very good point guard, and McClellan, I'm almost certain of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, anyone else?
I don't know. I don't know enough about those teams to make a prediction. I'm gonna go with Clemson right now, just because I feel they need redemption from last night.
I got Miami. Too tough for Clemson.
Yeah, I would not have thought, nor did I know that Miami was ranked in the top 10.
Now you know they're 8.
Yeah, so they're 8th. I'm just going to go with Miami. Gut feeling.
The U is a Final Four quality team.
No, they're not.
That's bold.
The big man inside.
Bold statement.
Cherokee?
Yep, Shaqiri on the inside's good. Rodriguez is a boss. I'll take Miami.
So, yeah, I mean,
Miami.
they did beat a good Butler team earlier this year.
Yeah, but I just don't know. I'm fine with the Miami pick. I just don't know if you can say they're Final Four.
Hey, they'll beat
material.
the Dukies again this year.
I hope so, because God knows I hate the Dukies.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're listening, Hoffy.
Yeah, huh?
We all hate the Duke Blue Devils.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Vix.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
the pod hates Alabama and the Dukies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fair statement.
So, next game, USC at UCLA. Both teams right now on the rise. Both these teams beat Arizona this week at home. So, I'd really like to see who wins. I'm going with UCLA, Bryce Alford, Isaac Hamilton. You know, those guys, they'll beat the USC Trojans, who do have 5 guys. Oh, no, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys who averages over 10 points, and the leader is Jordan McLaughlin.
Yeah, I got to go with UCLA also. I mean,
Bruins.
they had that nice win over Kentucky. Who's that buzzer? Well, not buzzer beater, but right at the end, who'd they beat there, Brady?
That was Arizona. That was
yeah.
Bryce Alford with
See,
the step back.
You know, it always seems like UCLA wins these big games, and then all of a sudden they lose this game to an unranked opponent, and then they just drop out of the rankings.
Yes.
Very
I'm
inconsistent.
not fact-checking here, but aren't these two just like, these two are still getting votes in top 10?
Yes, they are.
Right, they're just sitting right outside.
Yeah, Nielsen, very good point. Hold on.
I mean, like, this is something we have to talk about. I mean, like, these guys are on the precipice of being both top 25 teams.
Nielsen,
so.
I'm glad you brought that up because in the rankings, I'm seeing the other receiving votes.
Yeah.
USC, 79, so they're first, so they technically would be number 26.
Yeah.
Indiana, 59, UCLA,
Sure.
21. So, I mean, you're right. These teams are on the precipice.
And that's something to consider. And I think a lot of fans out there don't often look at that, who's getting the votes, because those are also good teams. I mean, we're talking about, I don't know how many teams are in the NCAA.
It's over 300, I know that.
Yeah, I mean, like, just all these teams, you know, and it's important to look at those other teams, especially close to tournament time. who's getting in it. If you're filling out those brackets here in a
Florida
couple
Gulf
months.
Coast.
Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast, University of Montana, whatever.
USC is receiving the most votes
Yeah.
at this time, 79. Indiana right behind them now. Indiana's impressive.
Yep, we lost it. Yeah,
Who's this?
Because Indiana was a great shooting team, and they actually surprised me. I didn't think they were. It's the first time I watched them when they played the Badgers.
Yep.
And
they spanked Ohio State.
yeah.
Good. I hate Ohio State.
On Sunday.
We had a lot of teams
That we don't like. We got a list in here.
Yeah.
So next game was number 20 Pitt with James Young and Jamal Artis at number 21 Louisville with Quentin Snyder, Spalding, Damian Lee, Trey Lewis.
You must tell me. Who the
Charles
heck are you?
Onuaku, all those guys.
You must tell me.
I'm going
Who
with.
the heck are
I'm
you?
going to stick with. I don't know. This is tough. It's Pitt at Louisville. I'm going with Louisville.
Pitt.
Louisville.
Louisville at home. Got a rebound from that last loss.
Got Pitt.
I got Louisville.
Okay. Next game, BYU. Anyone know of the name of Kyle Collinsworth? He had, in fact, I think has 2 or 3 triple doubles this year.
NCAA career leader. Right?
Yes, I was just about to say that. Thank you for saying that.
For the Zags or BYU?
BYU. Him and
Brigham
Nick
Young.
Emery lead the team.
Birmingham.
And they're going to travel the 25 Zags with Kyle Wilcher, DeMontis Sabonis, those guys. Who you guys got? I got Zags.
I got Gonzaga and the man from the small town called Lithuania.
Yes. Now I'm gonna take the Zags too, only because I think I'm a Zags fan. Because every year in the tournament, I just seem to think they can go farther than they actually can, and I always pick them. So I'm gonna just see what they get me right now. I'm gonna test the waters a little bit and go with the Zags.
I'll take BYU. I mean, the Zags are a good team, but I know we just talked about Collinsworth as the triple doubles. BYU.
Yeah, I'm also going Gonzaga.
Zags, all right, Vix.
BYU.
So then, what we got next on the agenda, we kind of hit on it earlier, but yesterday, I read an article Joe Lenardi wrote. The Pac-12 on the rise right now, looking like a promising conference. Teams like Arizona, Arizona State, Cal, Oregon, Stanford, UCLA, USC, Utah, those teams all going to pose as threats once it comes to tournament time. So
Yeah.
that's just something to look out.
And that conference has had a history of dominance. There were
UCLA.
times in my history.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm a lot older than you folks, but back in the days when I was hating Christian Leitner, these Dookies,
John Wooden.
the Pac-12 had some good teams. They were a tough conference, produced some national champions out of there.
UCLA 8 years in a row.
Now, to be honest, they're kind of garbage besides Arizona the last few years.
Well, they're on the rise.
But they're on the rise this year.
Yeah, we're talking about on the rise. That's
I
what
know.
it says.
I know they have some good teams, but until one makes a Final Four, they don't have that credibility.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
That is fair.
No, I
So
agree.
last week we all made our predictions on Marquette at Providence. Marquette, after losing to Seton Hall by 20 points game before, goes to Providence and takes down the Friars. Very good game played, and we got on Saturday. I'm pretty sure number 7 Xavier travels to Marquette. Who we going with?
Let me start this off. Marquette, if you guys didn't see, had a bad loss at home to Seton Hall. Surprisingly, came back and beat Providence. It's iffy, but last time I didn't pick Marquette, and I'm going to pick them this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Xavier, only because, and I'm going to be rooting for Marquette, make this known, I just think it's hard to beat 2 top 10 teams.
Yeah, true.
That's fair.
With the pressure, I don't know.
I think Marquette with Cheatham and Ellenson, those guys, Fisher, I think they're going to match up well against guys like Bluey and Sumner and Farr. So I'm going with Marquette.
I'll take the Fighting Wojos too.
The Fighting Wojos. All right.
Colin?
I'm going to take Marquette.
Vix?
I am going to go with Marquette, and I also agree with Nielsen about how hard it is to beat 2 top 10 teams in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to root for them, but if I was going to make an actual call in this game, I'd probably take Xavier.
Yeah.
So, Nielsen, you wanted to we wanted to quick hit a recap of the Badgers
Maryland.
playing Maryland.
Oh, good.
Oh, man.
I know we all picked Bucky, and
It was a close game.
it was a close game. I just didn't think down the stretch we didn't take the right shots.
No.
My father texted me. We went 3 for 12. I'm almost positive on threes in the second half. Why are we shooting 12 threes in a half? That's never been like that this year.
No, and it should.
I don't understand that.
And that's not. It's not what we're. It's not what Wisconsin basketball is all about this year. I don't think.
Well, yeah,
I think that
we
need to be able to shoot the three. It's nice to have that threat, but why don't we try to work it?
Well, when you're averaging 35% field goal percentage, some of it is the shots you take.
Yeah,
We're not taking the good shots that we should be taking in a game. So I mean, I don't know.
and your boy Ethan Habb did not have a very good game.
Yeah, okay. So you gotta explain to me why you don't like him.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying it's funny how you were touting Ethan Habb, and like he just.
Hey, he leads the Big Ten in double doubles.
I don't care.
Okay, he doesn't play defense. I'll give you that. But remember, he's only a freshman.
Yeah, you're
Give
right.
him 2 years. He has Frank Kaminsky-like qualities.
Like qualities.
Good
Hey,
comparison.
When he's in the post, I like his moves. The up and under, he can perfect.
Who do you think? Okay, go ahead, Sky.
Brady, Hap also missed numerous bunny shots.
Yeah, bunnies.
He was 8 for 14. I mean,
Yeah, but how many of those
I know,
were
I
would
know,
have made
I know.
shots?
When I saw it when it mattered, like it's like he didn't put it in the basket.
I can bag on Bronson Koenig because he
Yeah,
does not
he's-
make shots when
yeah.
it matters.
Hey.
Besides that one step
Yes,
back. Besides a
yes.
step back, it doesn't matter. You go from last year to this year, his field goal, his 3-point percentage.
So who was Bucky's
awful.
player of the game then?
In that game? I mean, Showalter's been coming
Showy.
lately, but it's probably got to be Nigel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the biggest showy fan on the pod.
Now, what's interesting
Mr.
though,
Intensity.
is like at the end there when Tremble hit that shot,
Yeah,
Shoei was on him, but
Just respect.
he was kind of he was playing a little off, and yes, that three was deep.
suburb deep.
Yeah, he got right up on him, but do you think it would have been a better decision to like get on him right away, pressure the ball, so maybe he wouldn't have taken the shot and he'd had to give it up? I mean,
I don't know. I think that what are the odds of him making that deep a shot?
true, but
Again.
he was on fire that day. Like he
Yeah, I know. Then maybe that's a different story. Like someone's on fire. Maybe you got to respect a little bit more. You got to get up.
Yeah.
Got to get on them a little tougher defense.
Yeah, make him dump it down a Diamond Stone in the post.
Yeah, Diamond. So we're not. I thought we were going to talk
gracious.
about him.
or the Badgers could have fouled there and sent him to the free throw line. They were missing their free throws there down the stretch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, in a tie game though.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
also yeah.
Halbach, what do you think about that game, Bucky wise?
Yeah, I don't know. Bucky in general just needs a step. Obviously, they're going to be a step lower this season because they lost Frank and Decker. But I know Brady mentioned the stat about Bronson with the low field goal percentage this year. That's because he has to take all the shots between him and Nigel.
Yeah,
I don't
But
know.
he needs to realize that the offense is not revolved around him.
Oh,
Too many
gosh,
times.
yeah.
Too many times. He's settling for shots when that is not what we should be doing. I see him throwing up shots in the corner when we should be working it low
Mhm.
or,
Yep, more
or
post
driving
looks.
it to the hoop.
And sometimes,
Bronson used to drive to the hoop. What happened to that?
and I've seen this. I've noticed that we haven't been, at times, and maybe it's just me and like the limited time I've had watching Badger basketball this year. It seems like we get deep into the shot clock with nothing happening.
Nielsen, excellent point.
I mean, like we should be doing more sooner.
Nielsen, I am
Creating those good shots.
seriously. High five for that one. I'm glad you said that because too many times is Koenig just dribbling at the top and we're waiting for something to happen. Very good point.
And like we need to drive down, kick back out, do something to create some separation and create some good shots.
Excellent point. So Badgers looking to bounce back tonight. They traveled to Northwestern, and then later this week they host Michigan State.
Ooh.
You know, I'm always going to pick Bucky no matter what, but I'm going to tell you why I think Bucky's going to beat Michigan State. Michigan State, when I think of Michigan State, I think of literally two guys. I think of Bryn Forbes and Denzel Valentine. I don't think of like guys like Matt Costello, Lou Rawls, Tum Tum Nairn Jr., or Matt Costello. I'm not thinking about those guys.
Tom Nairn Jr.
You must tell me, who the heck are you?
So like when I think of those, I just think the Badgers, they're more of a complete scoring team, so I'm going to pick Bucky. Rest. What do you think?
I'm going to go Bucky, too, only because after last week, they deserve a big win.
Yeah.
And I hope that maybe they see that they can, not that they're going to win all those games, but they can play those top echelon teams at least tough.
Yeah, I think they're in danger of missing the tournament. I almost consider this a must-win game. They're already at, 8 losses?
Yeah, they're 9.
I don't know what I would do if Bucky to make the tournament. I don't even know what that looks like.
We don't. I mean, I how long was it? Has it been 15 years?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I don't
17.
remember.
So, like, when I was 2 years old was the last time they didn't go. So, I mean,
I don't remember the last time they
Yeah.
didn't go. Like, and I can't remember in my head, like, watching an NCAA tournament without the Badgers in it. I'm sure I have, but it's been so commonplace in my life that,
you're accustomed to it.
yeah, how am I going to scream Duye Dukin on the way?
Duye!
He's with Boogie.
So,
He's with Boogie. He is with Boogie. And out of the D-League.
Vix and Colin, who do you guys got? Michigan State or Badgers?
I'm going to pick the Badgers because I would never pick against them.
No, you can't.
That's fair. Vix?
I gotta go against all you guys and go with Michigan State.
Hopefully we don't have bad days.
Okay, I see Wisconsin as having just being like a shell of themselves. Okay, it's just, after losing all those players to a draft, losing Bo Ryan to retirement, so
Yeah.
it's just kind of tough for the season. Like all players, like step up, score points, and
In flux.
yes.
Vix, you're right, because too many times we find ourselves in scoring droughts during the end of the game. That's just not when you want it.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Well, last week I said that Bucky needed to win over Maryland. You know, I think that was a must-win to get into the tournament. Seeing how close they got, I believe that they could beat them again. Yeah, I know it's going to be at Maryland, but I mean, in this game against Michigan State, though, like Nielsen said, aka life coach,
Coaching them lives.
they deserve to win this game on Sunday, I believe it is.
It
Yep.
is.
It's going to be on CBS. I hope Rafferty is broadcasting that.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Onions!
One- that's gonna be wild.
One of these pods, guys, we got to just get a tribute to
Nyla.
Raftery and how good of a announcer
Lingerie off the deck.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legend.
So, concluding our basketball talk, I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I thought it'd be just good to do it in mid-season. If anyone else want to elaborate, if I could pick a starting five, like a fantasy college basketball, these would be my guys. Chris Dunn, Providence. He has great handles as a point guard. He has triple-double-like qualities for a point guard. Bryce Alford from UCLA, great shooter. Tyler Ulis, when it comes to game time, the man always performs. He does the little things. He's arguably one of the better defenders in the country. Domantas Sabonis from the Zags averages a double-double, which is awesome. Ben Simmons, as of course everyone knows, he's a big man, but he plays like a guard. And then I got two bench guys, Damian Lee from Louisville, who is a great shooter. He's a fifth-year senior, transferred from Drexel. And then Jakob Pertl from Utah, the big man.
The Utes.
So yeah, that was. I just wanted to quick give my shout out of that.
Ethan
So-
Happ's not in there for you?
No, he's not.
what about what's his name?
Denzel Valentine?
No.
I'd have
Forget
Showalter in mind. Just 5 Showalters.
See, what do you know about the guy from Oakland University?
Fighter.
Yeah.
Fighter. I know he averages 26 points a game.
Who's
but,
your
10
starting
assists,
five? Hold
yeah.
on.
but Nick, look at who they're playing.
Oh, I know, and they're losing too. I know,
Yeah.
but he's a stud. Buddy Hield
Yeah,
also.
Buddy
could
Hield.
go down.
Buddy Hield. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I know Buddy Hield. I'm not a big lover of him.
Yeah,
But
Wichita State guys too. Throw them both in there. Baker and Van
Van
Vliet.
Vliet. Yep.
Yeah.
What about your big man?
I do like Jakob Pertl, but I also like Wiltshire though from the Zags because
From
he
the
can
Zags.
step out and shoot.
Mhm.
Sabonis is a good one too. The Zags are all good. All those foreigns.
Yep, they just gotta complete it.
Do you think this is gonna these guys? Do you think the NBA draft's gonna be good? People
Well,
coming out.
Because if I'm looking at these guys, I think Ben Simmons will turn out, and I think someone like Chris Dunn will turn out. But it's hard to tell because we'll talk about it later about the bus.
Yeah.
They look
Oh,
good
yeah.
in college, but then once it hits,
Wow.
Simmons looks like a boss, though.
He is.
A boss?
I mean, he's a boss.
Oh, boss.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought you said, boss.
A
I
boss.
thought you said bust.
He's on the wrong team, in my opinion, but he's
Yes,
a boss.
he is. Wilson even said that one
I
time.
said that like LSU was like wasting
Their
the only
coach.
year they
Oh.
have.
All right. Well, the only reason he chose it because he's from there, and I think one of his family members
his uncle's on the
coaches.
coaching staff.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. Like,
yeah, good point.
I mean, they beat Kentucky the other week, but still.
But then they lose to Florida at Florida on Saturday.
Some terrible programs.
I'm guessing that Simmons was recruited by like big schools like Duke and North Carolina and Kentucky.
In fact, he was not recruited by Kentucky.
Okay, never mind then. But
Brady's our Kentucky expert.
think about if Simmons went to one of those teams.
Yeah.
Unreal. Like
Especially the
Hoppy would be
Dookies.
loving it right now.
yeah.
I don't even
Oh
want to
my
think about
goodness.
it. I just
Yeah.
don't want it. If the Dookies didn't win another game the rest of my life, I'd be happy.
Yeah. Folks,
I hate
Jay Billis,
Christian Laettner.
Jay Billis, we know you're a Duke
Dookie.
enthusiast, but
And
let me
Dickie.
tell you,
Alumni.
we'd like to still have you on the pod.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, I can't promise that I would not rip on the Dookies.
And Nick Saban, I mean, I know
Fair.
we don't like Bama, but we'd still invite you on here too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so now we're going to transition to our NFL wildcard recap.
Oh.
Some blunders this week. The Bengals. Oh my goodness. The Bengals have the ball with what? A minute and 20 left. And then Jeremy Hill fumbles it. So Pitt gets the ball
He's a
back.
Jeremy.
Literally, Shazier made the play of the game.
Pitt gets the ball back. Then they're like what? At their own like
10-yard line.
So then they get it to like the half field, and then we got what was that? A pass interference, or was that just
I think it was a hit to the
unnecessary
head.
roughness?
Personal foul or something like that,
Montez
whatever.
perfect.
And then they get another
God, he's
15-yard
sad.
penalty. Like,
It's-
oh my
that
god!
was
Pac-Man Jones.
More like a wrestling match than an actual football game.
I mean, in
Yeah.
essence, the defense. I mean, I know the fumble, but I feel like the defense kind of just blew that one
Folks-
with those 30 yards in penalties.
Yeah, it was
Would have been field goal
There-
range.
Terrible.
There is absolutely no respect for the Bengals after that game.
Oh, I have zero respect. I think
I have all kinds
Marvin
of
Lewis,
respect.
come on, man.
Yeah.
There was no respect going into the game because they
I would-
haven't won a playoff game since
hey,
the 90s.
Hey, McCarron didn't do bad.
No,
Very
he
true.
played
The
good.
brain almost would have been right about his prediction.
Yeah, I was listening to I was
They blew
looking
it.
at something,
I don't like him anymore.
and the past two Super Bowls, I think like these stats people predicted it correctly. This year they picked the Bengals and somebody else, and realistically the Bengals should have won against the Steelers, but
Yeah.
they're
They're sad. They are sad.
Oh my goodness!
It's like they didn't want to win the game. It's like they don't listen to the pod and know that I picked them to go all the way to the Super Bowl. It's like they just like they didn't know about that fact.
Yeah.
Had they known that I'd picked them to go to the Super Bowl, I
They'd
feel like
probably
they would have
win.
played a little harder.
You got to
Yeah,
see
zero
7 straight playoff losses, though. How can you not take that into consideration when making your picks, Neil?
I can't.
Hey,
The
Marvin
Bengals-
Lewis, what
He's
are
a
we going to
good
do
coach.
about you, man?
Yeah.
Are you getting the boot or no?
No,
I don't think
He's a
he
good
should.
coach.
I don't think he should.
I think
Okay.
he's a good coach, too. It's just he needs to be able to handle his team better.
Can we? Well, yes, that got out of hand. So does Mike Tomlinson. There was some
Tomlin.
gnarly. Was it Thomas?
Tomlin.
Tomlin.
Who's
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin.
Who's Mike Tomlinson?
Tomlinson was the running back.
Yeah.
LaDainian
LaDainian Tomlinson. It's all the same. We don't fact check here on the podcast. We know that. I'm still gonna call him Mike Tomlin. Whatever. What was I gonna say? Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, they need to control the team. You guys, let's not forget he almost won a playoff game with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Almost.
I'm just saying.
Close
I mean,
but no cigar.
I know,
You're right.
I know. It is his responsibility to take control of the players, but it is also the players' responsibility to kind of know what's going on.
I agree, and not hurt your team. Like that was too much.
Especially
emotions.
Pac-Man Jones. Who
Pac-Man
goes up
was-
and shoves somebody.
Oh, man.
Like,
but
at least the perfect play was a football play where he was trying to.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Pac-Man Jones has a history of foolishness.
Oh, we know that.
I mean, so what do you expect? I'm just down on the Bengals. I wish they'd listened to the pod and maybe played a little
Yeah,
harder.
so the Texans get blown out at home by the Chiefs.
I
Saw that
I was-
coming.
I also saw that coming. I just didn't want to have to hear cheeks.
So
You
then,
know that, right?
yeah, and then the Bengals lose in an unfashionable way that they wanted to. Then the next game, the Vikings.
Oh.
This kid, basically, here you go. It's 10-9. You have the kick you want. Blair Walsh,
20 yards.
you got to put it
Shorter than an
upright.
extra point.
Laces out, Dan. What do you
Yeah.
guys think? Is it the holder or kicker? Because I mean,
Well-
the kicker scored all the points, but he needed to make the last one to win.
Here we
so,
go.
If I'm not correct, before this field goal, Blair Walsh did make a field goal with the laces pointed at him.
You're right.
Yes, he
he
did.
did. He did.
And
so
he was
that's no
practicing
excuse.
like that too.
Yeah. Now he made a 47-yard field goal with the laces out. Okay, now I don't think it's the laces. I just think it's him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, I
But
stood a chance of making that.
at the same time,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think Minnesota fans should be pointing fingers at Blair Walsh because, like the Seahawks did, they scored a touchdown. You know, it's kind of hard to win if you don't score a touchdown.
Just
You
score
got
a
to score
touchdown.
a one touchdown, Minnesota. That's
And
all
this-
you need.
And this reminds me, I actually watched the Four Falls of Buffalo last night.
Good.
And,
Oh, the
what is
30
the
for
kicker's
30.
name?
Scott Norwood.
Scott Norwood, yeah. And how, like, you know, he missed that kick in the Super Bowl, and it's all the things leading up to that. I mean, like, yes, sure, you want your kicker to be able to kick that, and, like, you know, you have a kicker for that reason to score those points, but, like, there's so many other things that happened before that could have got the Vikings ahead here.
Well, yeah, AP only had, 50
Yeah.
yards rushing or something?
Did
like
it
that?
fumble?
AP, don't fumble.
Turnover?
Don't
Yeah.
fumble.
Fumble?
Get in the end
He
zone.
always fumbles in the big moment, like when he should not fumble. Like if you
Sad.
fumble,
Exactly.
He is sad.
okay. And also that play by Russell Wilson when the bad snap there and he got it, and you know that really it screws up the secondary of the Vikings because they think it's a fumble. They kind of like stop and hesitate for a second. That gets a wide receiver wide open. And that's kind of what led to that touchdown. You know,
Yep.
if that wouldn't have happened, I don't know. The Vikings might have moved on. So yeah,
So yeah, then
I would have been 1-4. That would have been
yeah.
then the fourth team. And by the way, me and Mr. Scott Nye, who does everything here for us, we were the only ones that went undefeated in our wild card playoff picks.
You got them all right.
We get it.
So yeah, in the fourth game, the Packers, you know, after the first quarter, like, oh goodness, here we go again. But then, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, tuned it up. Are we back? Is this the playoff team that we saw in 2010? Obviously not, but does it have the qualities?
No.
Does it have the
I
qualities?
think
No.
we're back a little bit.
a
Not
little,
for long.
a little bit.
I think the Cardinals are probably going to beat us.
Halbach.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes had me thinking fire McCarthy right away, but then
I know. The first 10 minutes, I was all like,
Hey,
DC
that's what
Gruden.
Baldwin said.
Yep.
Oh, I know. I got Joe started on that thinking because McCarthy, look at it, he's won one Super Bowl in 10 playoff appearances. That's not getting the job done with the best player in the game. It's as simple as that.
Rodgers was back.
But yeah, once they went more up tempo in
Yeah.
the second quarter, they looked great.
Cobb
Conspiracy
and
theory.
Adams finally understood their role on the team, and Cobb looked well receiving and even in the backfield.
Yeah.
Yep.
Conspiracy theory here.
Yeah, folks.
Oh, okay.
Well, we got to take time for some
I think-
conspiracies.
Aaron Rodgers' earpiece, quote unquote, may have broken, so Mike McCarthy was not relaying the information. Aaron Rodgers, I think, would have taken over the offense there.
So you think we
I
should
want-
just hire
I want-
Aaron Rodgers as the Packers coach?
Yeah, I think he should just take over the
Yeah.
offense.
Well, a quote from
He's a tank.
the Pack Lady, we call her. No, the Pod Squad in here doesn't really know except for me and the brain over here. But the Pack Lady wants, and I know she's listening right now. She wants McCarthy fired. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Continue.
Okay, Vix, what did you think about that game? I want to get you. You know how I like the DC Grudens. You told me I was gonna have a bad day. I had a bad day.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Pack? Are they back?
Only time will tell. Like if they win this weekend, which will be very surprising. If they do. So considering their last game at Arizona, what they gotta do this week is just protect Rodgers. Keep him from
They did a
getting
better job
sacked
of
the
that.
9 times
Much
that he
better.
was during that game.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to run the ball. Okay, just got he also got to play some very good
and that's
defense.
like any good
So,
any good quarterback. Like if you have the best quarterback or an elite quarterback like Aaron Rodgers is, it's hard for me to admit. You have to protect him. You have to give him time to make those plays. And if you do that, he's going to make those plays. Just
In
like
my
the
opinion,
Denver Mannings.
the line's almost as important as the quarterback because
Yeah,
you got
I-
to keep somebody up. I mean, somebody can throw the
And
ball
that's
down the field.
look at what's happening to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady
Oh,
getting
their
hustled
offensive line
is just awful. And Tom Brady's getting hustled, rushed, hit, and he's not as effective.
it's nice to see that from once.
Yeah, I like the Pats.
No.
I like to say
No,
that,
get out.
you know, if you see a flag in the Packers' backfield, it's an automatic holding because it literally always happens, and it makes me really mad.
Was
but
there a holding call versus
I don't
DC
think it happened.
Grudens?
I
think
don't
it happened
know.
once.
Maybe
Not during the Grudens.
maybe they got a little talking to. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just disappointed that I can't say DC Grudens anymore after today.
Yeah.
Hey, next year they'll be good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kirk.
They'll be back.
I have honestly always liked Kirk Cousins.
Why?
You
I
like
don't
that?
like him because
Because
he
he was
played
great
for,
at MSU. He was
No,
good,
yeah, but you're a Badger
Great or
fan.
lucky from MS.
Yeah,
Great.
he got lucky on that Hail Mary.
REAT. Someone just knocked on the door.
I don't know
Door.
who's here.
Who's coming in?
Who's here?
I don't
Did
know.
we authorize this?
Who's here? Get out.
What do we got?
What do we got?
Who's here?
We got a delivery.
Someone dropped off that phone.
Wow.
Who did that?
That was very.
That was Aaron.
that was very anticlimactic, like the
Yeah, we
college
thought like
football
someone was.
championship.
I thought it was like Jay Billis.
Yeah, I thought. We thought one of those guys was gonna come in. We're like, woo!
We thought we were gonna have a surprise guest like Jay Billis in the house, or maybe some of the Cincinnati Bengals coming to say how sorry they were that they didn't listen to my pod and how enthusiastic I was about them to win the Super Bowl.
All right.
Um,
So, one of your favorite topics, Nielsen.
what do we got here?
We're hitting up the NBA,
The association.
Finally, I have been
Trade
waiting.
rumors, upcoming free agency.
Oh, this year is going to be out of
okay.
control for free agency. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't
Durant,
free agent?
Durant.
Westbrook.
Vicks
Durant
don't
for the
want.
Lakers.
Vicks don't want Boogie.
Who wants Boogie?
Vicks doesn't want Boogie.
I want Boogie for the Bulls.
Boogie to any team besides the Kings.
And like if you're the Kings, like you gotta realize you gotta deal him.
He's the best center in the game. Straight up.
And yeah, and for all those who don't know, I have been just a Boogie fan for years.
Simmons.
Since Simmons and Jalen Rose, Bill Simmons, a.k.a. the Pod Father.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the reason I got into pods.
All right.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons, the Pod Father. And like we listened to him with
That's
Brad
right. Bill
Pork and
Simmons. I had a little. I couldn't think for a second there. It happens a lot.
meant Bill Simmons, the Pod Father. He's
Yeah.
kind of responsible for all this.
Yeah.
And him and Jalen, when they did their NBA previews, started talking about Boogie. And I said, "Who's this Boogie?"
Yeah.
I looked up Boogie and I said, "He's going to be good." Last year in the in our NBA fantasy draft, who did I take? Boogie.
Hey, Nielsen, guess who's on free agency next? Oh, yeah, this year.
Who?
For the Bulls.
Derrick Rose.
Unrestricted free agent.
Isn't it Jimmy Butler?
Kirk Heinrich.
Oh, get him out. I don't care about
What?
Kirk
He has the most threes for the Bulls ever.
Yeah, but we got Dougie McBuckets who needs to get more playing time. And so I'm all right with
And
it.
Bobby Portis.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, we need to talk about McBuckets and Portis. Are we talking about the Bulls? But let's talk about free agency.
Dellavedova. Matthew Dellavedova. He's
Doesn't
a
matter.
restricted
Are we
free
talking about
agency.
trades too or no?
Yeah.
We can talk trades. We can talk
I don't know.
trades.
I don't got much here, but
There's just rumors. Vixie
Yeah.
came over to me and said the Bulls were rumored to be interested in Boogie. Where did you hear that? Or did you just make that up to get me jacked up?
I don't know. I kind of heard I just read on Google News a couple days ago.
I've heard it as well.
It could have been true, could have been false. Who knows?
No.
It's just rumors at this point.
Yeah. The only thing, are we going to talk? Should we do free agency or trades?
Well,
Let's do
I
trades.
got a free agency
Okay, let's do free agency.
Dirk.
speculation. Well, so the Lakers are going to lose Kobe Bryant after this year, which is about $25 million in the salary cap. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
now Kevin Durant is going to be a free agent after this year. Do you think the Lakers are going to go after Durant?
No.
I
think-
saw something that they're interested in DeRozan, though.
DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan?
I
don't do that.
I think the Lakers should tank and get Simmons.
Yeah, they're
Hashtag
trying.
suck
They're
for
trying.
Simmons.
So
Yeah, they're trying.
Hashtag suck for
Hey,
Simmons.
Simmons.
Vix, how do you feel if we picked up another Detroit man?
Andre Drummond?
Andre Drummond is a restricted free agent.
Wow.
I think it could be a good pickup for the Bucks.
What about trading Jabari? We're not talking about trades yet. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Go ahead.
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no. I want to save that for later.
All right.
Unrestricted Nicholas Batum next year for the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
Al Jefferson.
Pau Gasol for the Bulls.
Yeah, that's why I think they'll deal him. But we'll get to that in a second.
What do you know about KD going to the Warriors?
What? No.
I have heard this already.
No.
No.
I'm sorry, but
They get rid of
Challenge.
Bogut.
no.
They get rid of
Challenge.
Bogut. They can sign KD. They'd have the salary cap.
I don't know if he fits there.
I don't know if he fits either, but it'd
Like,
be the
Then,
superstar.
then
team.
what are you going to do when Steph Curry's contract comes up? Okay,
Give him
that's
whatever he
a
wants.
you got
2017
to keep one guy. Okay, like
Give him
Salary
whatever he
cap
wants.
goes up the
Keep-
next 2 years.
Okay, here's my point
probably
about the
could
Warriors.
keep both of them.
And this is not my own information. I was listening to the Podfather actually and Joe House talk. The reason they're this good, and I don't know if it's true, but I kind of buy into it, is that they have the perfect personnel to do this small ball game. And that the only reason they're having the success is because of the exact personnel. And if you switched up that a little bit, it might not be as efficient.
Well, yeah, they're all the chemistry's there, so why you don't need to mess with that at all. I know KD's a great basketball player, but if you're winning championships, you don't need to throw him in there. And Vicksmer, quick going off topic. OJ Mayo, what do you think about
Juice?
Juice? What do you about? He's an unrestricted free agent of this year. What do you think we should do with him?
I think we should just let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's having the best season as you guys could see. So
the Juice is the Bucks' only true scorer at this point.
Yeah, but what
should we pick up Garnett from the Wolves?
Yeah. What if the Bucks are in danger of OJ Mayo coming back fat and out of shape next year? After you give him a big deal.
And Nielsen,
probably.
Is he only in shape because he needs to get a deal going?
Contract.
Nielsen Aflalo is a restricted free.
He's solid.
Unrestricted free agent.
Someone should pick him up.
2016.
Yeah.
What about now that the Bucks have a decent center in Greg Monroe? Do you think they try to get Zaza Pachulia back?
Yeah, from he's on the free agency.
Dallas, I think.
On the Mavs along with Dirk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Dirk. I'm looking at this, guys, and I want to be spitting out names, but I think this summer is going to be quite exciting with free agency.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just hoping to get a God, I'm drawing a blank here. Who the Dallas Mavericks tried to get him? He went back to the Clips.
DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre I'm hoping to have more of that, like people flying, hiding out in people's houses. I want it all.
Hey, but who's going to pick up Lance?
Anybody should pick up the 8th grader.
Straight true.
Yeah.
The Bucks should pick him up.
There's two things in this world
Talking about
Lance Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson.
Did you see that meme about Lance Stevenson blowing the Minnesota field?
Yeah. That was awesome.
There are two things in this world that would make me Milwaukee Bucks season ticket holders.
Nielsen, quick.
One, if Boogie Cousins got on the Bucks. Two, if Lance Stevenson is on the Bucks.
Yes.
I'll be season tickets holders.
Nielsen,
what's your question?
I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
Your Spurs,
Go.
unrestricted
Spurs.
free agents this year, Duncan and Ginobili. They extending that
Money
contract.
Manu.
Yeah, they can extend it because those two don't even have to play the regular season.
And
See,
David
when they
West,
win the
too.
NBA title this year,
They're
those
done.
Spurs.
Timmy D's
Go.
retiring. Manu's done after this year. After they win the title. I like how you said that. My question though is, LeBrick,
Oh, goodness.
if they win a championship, does he leave Cleveland?
Yes.
That makes sense because
He's
that's
out.
him.
And can Cleveland withstand the riots that would ensue?
No. False. No. They would not be able to.
Yeah,
Um,
they're not
There's
going
no
through
way.
that again.
There's absolutely no way.
This
There's
that
no
would
way.
be,
A ride would not happen if LeBron wins them the championship. Shit that they
yeah,
need.
but then he leaves.
Yeah, but then he leaves.
Oh,
But
man.
then they'll still be grateful for him because remember when he left for Miami Heat?
Yeah, they burned his jersey.
Yeah.
They're just always come up so close, but just not enough. In each of those playoff series,
The
remember
Lakers
against
would have the
Celtics.
cap room to go for both LeBron and KD. Just throwing that out there.
Mm,
Plus, they
really?
would have a Simmons #1 draft pick.
No.
Could you
Stop.
imagine that?
No, I just
Because
can't.
they're dumping all of Kobe's salary. All you got to dump one other player, and you have that cap space
KD,
with the cap going
LeBrick,
up.
Ben Simmons, and Swaggy P.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I heard the Lakers are looking.
You
at someone.
imagine that?
The Lakers are trying to be the team again in L.A. But I'm also worried about the former Washington Bullets, a.k.a. the Washington Wizards. The D.C. Bullets, as we'll call them.
John Wall.
I mean, they have done significant things to try to lure KD.
Well, that makes sense. It's where he's from.
Yeah, exactly. Hometown
I
hero.
wouldn't be surprised if he goes there.
That's what I mean. And this was talk last year. I'm just carrying it over. I mean, there's a lot of unrestricted and restricted free agents in this. Oh my gosh, Bradley Beal.
There's so many good players.
Nene's unrestricted.
Nay.
Dwayne
Oh,
Wade,
man.
I think, is
And
too.
what? Where's the? Hold on. The Pelicans. I got to get to them.
No, Pelicans.
Yeah, what do you do there? They are garbage, and
I think you tank. I think you tank and you hope you get Simmons, and you have the two best players in the NBA.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
That'd be unreal.
That is bold.
Anthony Davis only has one eyebrow.
And Simmons has two. That makes him a great 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fair.
just saying, because I expected more of the Pelicans. I thought maybe they were going to battle for a 7th and 8th seed. I really did.
They need more of a supporting cast besides the Brow, and the Brow's got to stay healthy. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, he's just ruining me on my fantasy team, which, by the way, is tanking, folks.
Hey, that makes two of us.
I'm thinking about throwing it this year.
Hey, I'm 6-0 so far. I'm 6-0. I'm going for the championship.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
All right, any big trade
I don't
rumors
even
that we've
look
been
at mine. You
hearing
try
about?
hard.
I'm hearing Carmelo Anthony might be like possibly going to the Miami Heat.
That's what I heard also.
Yeah, I also heard like the Knicks might be going after Dwight Howard.
Let's think about this for a little bit. Who's in charge of the Knicks?
Phil Jackson.
How many rings does he have?
I think 11.
Yes.
Yeah, let's trust him.
Yeah.
He's another puppeteer. You know who else is a puppeteer?
Greg Popovich.
And it's where Carmelo Anthony's going. Who else has rings? Pat Riley.
That's right. Yeah.
If you guys understand,
Jason Kidd.
you guys understand that since the Warriors won last year, in the last 30 years, only, I think, I'm not fact checking myself now, only 9 teams have won the NBA title.
I think you're actually
9
right on
because
that
it was
one.
8, and then now 9 with the Warriors.
Yeah. I want to say it's like...
So in the last 30 years, 9 teams have won. Let's think about who's been a part of those teams. Phil Jackson, Bulls and Lakers. Pat Riley, Knicks Heat. Greg Popovich, go Spurs, go.
Then you got the bad boy Pistons in there.
Yep.
And there you go. Celtics.
Detroit basketball.
We haven't got one of those. But yeah, I think with Kristaps Porzingis, and I'm glad I get to talk about it today. Latvian legend. You know, I think maybe Phil Jackson sees an opportunity to rebuild. I mean, like, and Carmelo is getting towards the end of his career. He wants to win a ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's not. I mean, the Knicks could start not rebuilding, but building around a Porzingis. Maybe the free agency we just got done talking about is going to be wild.
They're going to have plenty of cap room, too.
They're going to have plenty of cap room. You know who's never going to have cap room, I think, as long as they're franchise? The Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. With all those trades for the NBA draft a couple years ago, they're just tanking to like just help the Boston Celtics out, okay? They're going to get like a very good pick in this draft, and maybe like in the next draft, okay? Because just remember, they gave like all their first round picks from like 2016 all the way to 2020.
Yeah, they're just
Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce
and Joe Johnson.
Yes,
Joe Johnson is like the largest contract in the NBA last year.
He's a great player, but
the largest contract, he's making more than your boy LeBrick
and more than Kobe.
Wow.
Well,
Kobe is still the biggest contract ever in the NBA right now, I think.
Yeah, you might be right about that. So,
Yep.
Speaking of which, how the Bulls on the rise right now? We touched on the Bulls are on a streak. They lost last night, but they've been winning games.
They got the Bucks tonight.
Bulls on
I
top.
believe they're third in the East, aren't they?
Yeah.
You are.
Who's second then?
I got the standings right down at the bottom.
Oh, you do? Oh yeah, here we go. But either way, and are the Heat that good? That was another one we talked about. Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when all their players are like
Hassan Whiteside coming
on
out.
the court.
I don't think they're that. Yeah, they're good. They're good.
They're respectable.
Respectable. Chris Bosh, right? Dwayne Wade.
I mean, all the talks about LeBron from those big 3 Heat teams, but really, Chris Bosh is no small task to guard either.
Yeah.
Second is the Toronto
Raptors. Yeah, DeRozan.
Yeah.
You know,
The
hopefully the Bucks can turn around.
No,
though,
they
and get in
can't. They
that
can't
AR.
tank. The Bucks should trade somebody.
Okay, that's fair.
Jabari.
Someone that can shoot.
Trade. Hey, call up the Kings. Who's the GM of the Bucks? Who's going to call?
John Hammond.
John Hammond. John Hammond. I know you're probably listening to the pod today. Get on your horn. Call up Vlade Divac. Say, hey, Vlade, we'll give you Jabari Parker and Greg Monroe for Boogie.
Plus Douye Dukin.
And we want Douye back in Wisconsin. You're right. Douye Dukin.
That'd be awesome.
And then hang up.
Then hang up and wait for it to come back. In fact, hopefully he doesn't even answer and you just get to leave that message.
Yeah.
And in fact, John Hammond, just call me. Text me. I'll call and leave that message for you.
Yeah.
Vlade's a great guy here.
Get on that.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Go Spurs, go.
So how good are the Cavs, in essence?
I mean, they do have LeBron.
That's as far as they'll go, though. They'll go as far as LeBron
Can they
takes.
win a ring this year?
No.
Nope.
And Kyrie Irving's back.
Yeah, I mean, they got a stacked team.
Yeah.
And they got a good team. Kevin Love is having a much better year than he did last year, but I'm wondering if that is because of the absence of Kyrie. I'm interested to see what happens to Kevin Love as Kyrie comes back and does more of that business.
I think he's still the third fiddle in that offense. So.
Yeah, and that's like if he's cool with it, I'm cool with it. Right? And I don't know why he even asked me, but whatever. The Cavs are going to be on top. Like LeBron is the best player. The Bulls are on the rise. The Bulls have been dealing with a new coach, Hoiberg, trying to figure things out, and I think he's starting to do that a little bit more. I'm really, like I said before, I'm really jacked up to see old Dougie McBuckets and Bobby Portis getting some of that action. Man, I love that.
What about the Mavs? Mavs are starting to hit stride right now.
George Karl's a good coach.
George Karl's with the Kings.
Dirk.
No, he's not.
That's Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle, sorry, yeah. Rick Carlisle's a good coach. George Karl and Boogie don't get along.
That's why Boogie needs to come to the Bucks.
I agree. Him and Jason Kidd could be buddies. But yeah, Rick Carlisle, good coach. Dirk is like the big fundamental number 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's just consistent and good. And the Mavs are doing a really good job, not getting DeAndre Jordan, that whole fiasco, which I want to see more of, by the way. I said that earlier. They make good choices, good matchups with their personnel.
And never count out Cuban come free agency or trading for Boogie. Never count him out.
Oh, Boogie on the Mavs? Just, wow. A lot of stuff happening. Yeah, the Mavs are good. They're always solid. To be honest, guys, let's think about what we predicted or what we thought was going to be of the East and the West this year to what is actually happening. I mean, we knew the Warriors may be on top. We knew the Spurs, but the West is all jumbled up. The East is far stronger than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
It's a much more balanced league.
The East is stronger than the West, I think. Well, you look at the standings wise.
Yeah.
I can't give it to you.
If you do look at,
I'm going to go, okay, so let's talk about in the West. We have KD, Durant, Harden, Curry, Thompson, Boogie, Dirk,
Westbrook, Harden.
I mean, the list goes on and on. In the East, who do we have? We have LeBrick,
Paul George,
Damian Lillard,
Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose, Paul
Porzingis.
Gasol,
Dwayne Wade,
Kristaps Porzingis. It's close. It's better. It's more balanced. I would not say better. I still think the West will win the title.
Yes, definitely.
And it'll be the Go Spurs go.
Go.
Boris
Spurs,
Dio.
Go.
Legend.
Boris Dio should have been Finals MVP in 2014.
Agreed. Filthy dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Porzingis.
Hey, he had a nice putback dunk the other night, and
beating up on the Milwaukee
He's
Bucks.
getting articles written about him right now. I think he's starting to really come on, even from what he has.
Range.
He had about a week of downtime.
Yep.
Since then, he's just consistent.
What do you expect from a rookie? He'll have that.
Yeah, you're gonna have it, and I think. But is he Rookie of the Year yet?
Who else would you put there?
Karl Anthony Towns.
D'Angelo Russell.
Frank Kaminsky?
Not D'Angelo Russell. Frank Kaminsky, no.
He could. He could win it.
He could not win it.
No.
He's having a pretty good year, I heard. So anything can happen.
He's having a good, but Porzingis is awesome. I'm just glad we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
So now this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Folks, buckle up. We're about to talk about the biggest NBA.
I want life coach over here to read off.
So I'm gonna read these.
You're gonna read the player, the team,
and who they passed up.
Where they were taken. Usually it's number 1, the year, and who they passed up.
All right, this is from Bleacher Report.
Hey, just hold up quick.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
The 15 bust of all time in the NBA. Number 15 is Joe Barry. Was selected by Golden State Warriors, number 1 in 1980. Oh, I went back. Hold up. And he was selected before Kevin McHale. However, Joe, he had a pretty nice NBA career. He even made an All-Star team once, they said. And
just once.
Now, hold on. He had to be on the list, not just because of who's taking afterwards, but because the Warriors traded Robert Parrish and the number 3 pick in the draft to move up 2 spots for Carroll, who turned out to be Kevin McHale. The Warriors traded Robert Parrish to make the Parrish-McHale combo in Boston.
And throw in Bird, and you have the best team of the 80s.
Yeah, agreed. What the heck? Unbelievable. Any reactions about that one?
okay, I'm gonna be honest. I really am not familiar with these players, but I do understand. I do understand that this was obviously a terrible pick.
Okay, number 14. We'll move on. Number 14, Joe Alexander, taken by none other than the Milwaukee Fear the Deer Bucks at number 8 in 2008. I was alive in 2008. I don't even remember who this guy is.
Yeah, he's huge. I mean, I remember the name, just not the
Coming out of
player.
West
Like,
He had
Virginia.
a great college career. I see why they took him, but it ended up being terrible. Let's face
He
it.
was selected before Brooke Lopez, Roy Hibbert, Serge Ibaka, and Nick Batum.
Oh god.
Think of
282 points in his NBA career.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Wow.
Think,
Not too shabby.
Think about
No,
think
is
about the players you
very
could have
shabby.
gotten, but no, you go out and take Joe Alexander.
Who and what is he even doing now? We don't even know.
What is he doing?
Number 13, Hashim Thabit.
to beat from the Yukon Huskies.
Yukon Huskies, taken in 2009.
That was. I'm pretty sure after they won the
Oh,
national championship. Or
Yep.
Okay.
This is unreal.
I feel like when you herald, Bleacher Report has here, guys. He was heralded as the next Dikembe Mutombo. Anytime you herald somebody as that, you better think about what you're doing. He was 7'3". The beat was he was taken. This is unreal. This is unreal. He was taken before. He was taken at what number did I say he was taken? Number 2 by the Memphis Grizz. Taken before none other than James Harden, Tyreek Evans, the Spanish legend Ricky Rubio, and none other than Mr. Splash Brother himself, Steph Curry.
Oh my! Think of the Memphis Grizzlies.
What a
Could have
messed up
Memphis
knee
Grizzlies
that
could have
was.
had Curry,
Hold
Harden,
on.
or even Rubio.
I'm not
Ricky Rubio.
I'm not even upset about them missing up Harden, Tyreek Evans, or Steph Curry. They would have been one more player closer to forming the all-Spanish team with
Yes.
Ricky Rubio and Marc Gasol. Unbelievable pick. Unbelievable pick. Oh, it just gets better, folks. Just buckle up. Now, in 2005, the Atlanta Hawks selected one Marvin Williams, left North Carolina after his freshman season to get into the draft.
They won the title that year, I believe.
Yep. He was taken before Deron Williams and Chris Paul and Andrew Bynum. Williams was a solid producer for the Hawks, but he never developed in the star he was supposed to be. Maybe he should have developed a little more there, House Cat.
He's a role player now.
Yeah. Oh, this is even better. Sean Bradley, number 11, selected by the Philadelphia 76ers in 1993. Sean Bradley is a 7'6" monster. He actually had a decently long NBA career. So I'm pretty sure he did get dunked on a lot, though, they say.
Yeah, Bradley got dunked on far more than he would have liked. That's what they said.
And he was selected before, and this was a big draft in 93. You had Penny Hardaway, Jamal Mashburn, and Allen Houston, 76ers. But, however, I feel like we could add the 76ers. If we did a worst drafters in history poll, the 76ers would be at the top. I mean, like Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Joel Embiid from Kansas
Jaleel Okafor is not even a
gets
guarantee.
hurt, then doesn't even
Nerlens
play
Noel.
in the NBA.
Nerlens Noel is kind of sad.
Yeah,
for
Nerlens-
Okafor.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, he's still getting playing time.
they should have Chokofor for Porzingis.
Well, I mean,
Easily.
Okafor does put up good
Porzingis
numbers.
for-
Yeah, we'll see how good he is.
Yeah, we'll see how good he is. I mean,
Number
what about wait, quick question. What was it? Bennett? Anthony Bennett?
he's on the
Bucks?
list. He's on the list.
Yeah.
Relax, we're only on number 10.
Oh, he's on the list.
Yeah, Anthony Bennett is sad.
Oh, I didn't see him.
I
on
heard
the
that he's
list.
on
He
the
was sad.
currently
Oh,
on
sorry,
the
folks,
Raptors
spoiler.
NBA D League team, the Raptors 905. The weird team.
Anthony Bennett,
That's a
isn't
weird
he?
team name
Isn't he
for a D
playing?
League team.
He's from UNLV.
Yeah, isn't he?
Well, he's not panning out.
I heard
No,
he's playing in D League right now. So
Jay Williams, selected in 2002.
Dookie.
He was with Yao Ming's draft. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, selected before Amari Stoudemire. You might want him and Caron Butler. He was heralded as a Dookie. Shocker, a Dookie didn't pan out.
Now he's an announcer.
No, he's an announcer.
which
Just
isn't bad.
It's a lot like our boy Jay Billis.
yeah.
Didn't pan out in the NBA, now an announcer.
And next he'll be on the pod. Number 9, Robert Traylor, Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks make the poll for a second time. Tractor Trailer was actually drafted by the Dallas Mavericks in 1998. Before the main piece in what would go down in one of the most worst draft trades in history. The Dallas Mavericks traded Tractor Trailer to the Milwaukee Bucks for the number 9 pick and the number 19 pick, which was used as like Pat Garrity. The number 9 pick, it turned out to be none other than Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. The Milwaukee Bucks organization
Traded Dirk Nowitzki.
Why?
God, Bucks. Oh,
my
we
God.
wonder why we're
Hold on.
Who does
Hold
that?
on though. If we would have got Dirk, realistically, we probably would have traded him in the next 2 years.
Yeah, we
Just
would have
because.
had Ray Allen on that same team then.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I can't even. I don't even want to think about how.
No, we
good-
can't think about that.
I don't want to think about how good the Bucks could have been.
Oh my God. 98. Just we'll take Tractor Trailer. You can have this Dirk
Oh, and
Nowitzki guy.
also Paul Pierce was selected.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even get to that.
Tractor Trailer was selected before Paul Pierce, another great player. So yeah.
Oh, man. Coming in number 8, Chris Washburn was selected by the Golden State Warriors, number 3 in 1986. Hold up. He was picked before Ron Harper, John Sally, who ended up playing for, I believe, Detroit Basketball, part of the Bad Boys, Del Curry, and Arvydas Sabonis.
Del Curry is the father of Steph Curry, by the way.
Yep. 4 of the top 10 players selected that year were huge problems. Len Bias died of an overdose 2 days after the draft. Washburn was right up there with him in the draft, not doing drugs or whatever. After getting caught stealing a stereo while enrolled at NC State, so we have a problem. In 3 years, he failed 3 drug tests, subsequently banned by the NBA for life. He scored 222 points in a disastrous NBA tenure. All right, Golden State. Way to go, Chris Washburn.
Vixmer, Adam Morrison, the Zags bust.
He was picked number 3
By who?
by, at the time, the Charlotte Bobcats.
Currently the
Charlotte Hornets.
good Adam Morrison. He was out of the Zags, wasn't he? Yes, he was a Zag. It says here, sadly, he left all that scoring ability in Spokane, but he was actually good. Amazing in college.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
College at Gonzaga playing against garbage teams all year, and then you go to the NBA. Yeah.
But what happened is
The West Coast
you got
Conference.
selected,
weak.
Adam Morrison, which is a problem.
He was good in Gonzaga, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
gosh, yeah.
he was selected before Brandon Roy, Rudy Gay, and Rajon Rondo.
Oh,
Terrible
Rondo.
draft choice by none other than the greatest player of all
Yeah.
time, Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan,
Great
picked
player,
him.
bad drafter.
Yeah, terrible.
He needs to call up his boy Phil Jackson, get some advice on drafting.
Yeah.
Speaking
Legends.
of MJ being a terrible drafter,
We're getting there.
Did he draft? Oh, no, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Kwame Brown, number 6, selected by the Washington Wizards in 2001.
Don't you
Oh,
mean the
Lord.
Washington Bullets?
The Washington
Jeez.
Bullets.
This one's brutal.
Oh, I don't even.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm just, hold on, folks. I need a minute. Kwame Brown had Kwame Brown not still been playing in the NBA 12 years after being inexplicably drafted first overall, he'd be higher on this list. But the only reason he's on this list is because he had, not higher because he had a 12-year career. He was Michael Jordan's first draft pick, so Michael Jordan goes back-to-back on our list for picking badly.
Terrible.
He was chosen before Tyson Chandler, Paul Gasol, Jason Richardson, Joe Johnson, and Zebo himself, Zach Randolph.
Vix loves Zebo.
I like Zebo too.
Yeah. Oh,
He doesn't
my goodness.
start, though.
He should.
yeah, but
That
they
was
got
a
to trade him to get the All-Spanish team. Though.
Yeah, they got to trade him to get the All-Spanish team.
Terrible. Just absolutely terrible pick. Terrible.
Number 5. I didn't even know about this guy, LaRue Martin. Portland Trailblazers, drafted in 1972.
Julia, sorry.
He was
Look
selected
at
number
your
1.
hair.
Martin likely had the least productive career of all first overall draft picks ever. He averaged a measly 5.3 games over his 4-year career. And he was selected before Bob McAdoo and Julius Irving.
Only a couple Hall of Famers, no
Which is
biggie.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. A
Yeah.
couple Hall of Famers.
No big deal.
What
It could have been worse, but who knows?
It's pretty bad. Number 4. the man from Ohio State.
I wrote a paper about this man.
You
Greg
wrote
Oden.
a paper about this?
Yeah, because it
for
makes
class?
me mad how this is right here, the one and done rule at its finest. Greg Oden had a great freshman year at Ohio State, goes to the NBA, bust. Guess where that went? Oden, nowhere.
I don't think
Should have stayed at Ohio State.
I don't think
he made some money out of it.
I don't think he's even on a team this year. He was last time I know on the Heat.
I think he's out of the NBA.
Out of the NBA.
Yeah,
But he made some money out of it.
He did make some money, but now he was picked number 1 by the Portland Trailblazers before none other than Iceberg Slim, Kevin Durant, Al Horford, and Joakim Noah. Like Joakim Noah,
my
Defensive
goodness.
Player of the Year.
Mr. Hustle himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Wow.
heck?
The Portland Trailblazers could add KD.
Unbelievable.
Still,
Trailblazers are going to be on here again.
Horford and Noah, that championship team. You
Yeah.
pick Oden over both those two. I don't. Oh.
Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Number
This is-
3,
this is
Michael Olowokandi. I don't know.
Oh.
Selected by the Los Angeles Clippers,
Another
the second
great pick.
basketball team in Los Angeles. Number 1, he went number 1 overall in 1998. He was a 7-foot project out of the University of Pacific. I don't even know if they have a basketball team anymore.
They do, believe it or not.
Well, shocking. Over 10 uninspiring seasons with the Clippers, Wolves, and Celtics. He averaged only 8.3 points a game. He cracked 45% shooting once in his 10th season. They called him the Candy Man.
He's a candy man.
He was selected before none other than Mike Bibby, Antoine Jameson, Vince Carter,
Ooh, Vince
Dirk
Carter.
Nowitzki, and
Insanity.
Paul Pierce.
Just.
Insanity
Couple of
itself.
Hall of Famers.
Just
You,
another
you
disappointment.
think you think that's bad? It gets better.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Darko
Oh.
Milicic, picked in 2003, number 2 overall
Right after LeBron.
by none other than Detroit basketball. He was picked right after LeBrick.
Oh my goodness. I can't even.
I'm just going to scroll down and tell you who is. Oh my God. I dry heaved a little in my mouth. Darko Milicic went to the Detroit Pistons number 2 in the 2003 draft after LeBrick, but before Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh.
Oh my goodness.
And plenty other All-Stars
And
in that
plenty
draft.
of
Brutality.
other players.
Just
The
think of
Pistons
what
came
could
off
have
a
been
championship
for
season, too. They could have built
Detroit
out that
basketball.
title.
What it could have been for Detroit basketball.
And now, for the number 1. See, I know the name, but I honestly don't remember him playing for
He's
this
a Kentucky
team.
guy.
Kentucky,
But you'll remember the other guys that he got picked
Sam
over.
Bowie. Sam Bowie. I mean, I feel bad for the guy because it's not 100% his fault, but Sam Bowie was picked by the Portland Trailblazers. Here we go again, Portland. Number 2 in the 1984 draft behind Hakeem Olajuwon, who went number 1 to, I believe, the Houston Rockets.
Clyde
He was-
Drexler.
I mean, after all, they say he was 7'1". What
Yeah.
could go wrong? Well, let me tell you what went wrong. He was picked before none other than Michael Jordan, the greatest player in the NBA,
Of all time.
Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound,
here he goes again.
and John Stockton, one of the greatest assist men of all time.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Assist.
3 of the 5.
I'd be
greatest
kicking
players of
myself
all
in the
time.
foot to this day
That
if
is
if
terrible.
that happened.
No, the
To
icing
me.
on the cake, listen to this,
That's just
that Portland
terrible.
lost a coin toss for the first pick of that year's draft. The NBA picked by a coin toss. What kind of janky league is that?
That's how the Bucks got Kareem.
A coin toss. Unbelievable.
You know what I noticed about all these busts is that most of them are over 7 feet tall.
Oh, that feels like the NBA is like all about big guys, big guys, big guys.
And most of them are on terrible teams.
Yeah, Sam Bowie got picked before Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, John Stockton. Unbelievable.
Best players of
Unbelievable.
The
The reason
1980s
we're
and
talking about
90s.
this, guys, because Skylar and I were just looking at this the other day in study hall, and we were just geeking out about the biggest bust of all time and how important draft picks are.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
think about the Portland Trailblazers taking Michael Jordan. Jordan doesn't get 6 rings. Right?
He might.
He might, but you never know. I mean, like, that's going to be a different ball game.
They had a good
Does
team
Jordan
in
and
the 90s.
Pippen ever get together? We don't know. But just unbelievable. We love talking about sports history. We love talking to you guys about the pod, but I think that concludes our pod for the day.
Pod fam deactivate.
Yeah.
Pod fam deactivate.
A quick reminder, though, folks. Tonight you can catch the Huskies versus Roncalli Jets game on nhradio.caster.fm. It's on the Pod Twitter page. Follow us at the NHPod.
Yep. Tweet at Jay Billis.
Yes, also do that. All right, we'll see you next time, folks.